Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And we did fun things this past weekend. It was my son's 5th birthday. And he, loves rock and roll music and punk rock and all that. So he got an electric guitar with, a little amplifier. It's, 3 feet, long. It's, perfect for him. And so he, rocks out on that now. And then we also took him to a Green Day in Lincoln Park. What's it called?
A cover
band. Yeah,
concert.
Cover concert, rock concert for all ages. And so we got to do that. And while I was at the merchandise counter getting shirts and stuff, one of the singers of the Green Day cover band, it's called Green Day Tribute Band, I guess.
Pretty just simple. Green Day Tribute, yeah.
Was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, it's my kid's 5th birthday, blah, blah, blah. That's why we're all here. And he ended up, saying happy birthday to Cody on stage. Yeah, we went to the Anaheim. We were at the Anaheim Garden
Grove
Amphitheater.
The Garden Grove Amphitheater.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know. I just bought the tickets and invited everyone and went.
It was so fun too, though, because the way the venue was set up was really cool. It was we were able to actually sit the kids on the stage.
Yeah, because we had brought my niece, who's 5, and my other son, who is 6. So we were able to, and there was a bunch of other kids too. I was really surprised.
There was a lot of kids.
How many kids that there actually were. I even saw maybe a baby, maybe barely a 1-year-old, almost not walking baby. Maybe even an 8-month-old it was.
It was actually kind of like a family event. It was very child friendly, and everybody was
there was a little mosh pit.
There was, there definitely was. We didn't put the kids in the mosh pit.
Well, some of us tried, and some of us had to go save them. Some of us being me trying to save. I thought
right.
That's why I went in the mosh pit, because I thought that Brad had taken Max, my 6-year-old, into the mosh pit, and I'm no, Brad, no, don't do that. So I went running after them, and I ended up in the mosh pit, and they ended up not even being in there.
You just ran in the mosh pit yourself. But it's a family-friendly event. You're yeah, but we had the kid in the mosh pit. And we had the kids on stage.
Yeah. It was really fun, and I'm sure that Cody will always remember his birthday, maybe.
He will definitely remember it. 5, and then he got the electric guitar.
Yeah, that'll be his first electric guitar.
And then I feel it's so funny because every time we get in our group gets together, it's we kind of take it over.
No matter what we do and we're in a place, it's we, everybody knows us by the time that we leave whatever location we have arrived
exactly.
at. We're on stage. We have the band being happy birthday, Cody.
And then they sang a song and dedicated it to him. It was
the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad when I was thinking about it.
But it was a good song, though.
And it was so funny too whenever I was when me and Cody decided that that's what we were going to do for his birthday, because I didn't just do this myself. I had asked him, hey, this is what's we have an option to go to a rock concert. Do you want to do that? Do you want to go to the zoo? What do you want to do? And it was all up to him. And so I was asking him, when you get older, when you grow up, do you want to be, a drummer, or, a singer? Do you want to be the guitarist? And he's, looked at me what do you mean? And I was when you grow up, and you're you're an adult. And he's looked me straight in the eyes, and he was Mommy, I don't want to grow up. And I was that is the perfect answer. You've already gotten life figured out. You already know that growing up is a fucking trap.
Oh my gosh, he's too smart.
Yeah, he's really funny. When you hang out with him and stuff, the stuff that he comes up with is just off the wall. He's an Adam Sandler funny.
He is really funny.
Yeah.
He definitely had a blast at the concert. I know that, the kids in the beginning, they were kind of whoa. Kind of culture shock. All these people are, jumping around and, banging their heads around like the rock concert, and they're just kind of like sat there like kind of like okay, but then they got into it, and then Adeline's jumping around, and they're all jumping around,
and then we went to like away from the stage in the amphitheater part, and by where like they have food and drinks and stuff, there was like a little like stage area. It was just like had the merchandise table. But the kids were just, like, running around and dancing there and stuff. And in our living room, Cody will, like, be doing his own mosh pit thing. Like, he'll just start his own mosh pit in our living room. So it's cool to show him, like, that's what you're doing. You just don't know that you're doing it.
And then there was another little boy running around up there with them. And I was like, ooh, they're going to make a little kid mosh pit right here.
Yeah, because they're all in circles.
How many kids are going to, like, join in and start, like, moshing around right here? It was like the little kid mosh zone.
Yeah, it was super fun. Anyways, so we did that on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
the day before I got to go to an encounter, a critter encounter.
Yeah.
And we got to pet raccoons, one raccoon, and a fox.
And then what about that owl? You showed me a picture.
Yeah, there was an owl. We didn't get to touch the owl, but we just saw it from afar, and there was like a snake.
But the owl, remember, it only had
one wing.
One wing.
It was a rescue. They're all rescues, but it was like really interesting. And the raccoon made so much noise in the cage. We were like the whole cage was shaking, and it was making this noise like, oh, I can't do it. Fun. Like that. And we were like, what the fuck is in that cage? Like, and the whole cage is moving. I'm like, fuck, is there like a dinosaur in there? It was so weird, but it was a raccoon. So just so you know, that's what they make, the noise.
But when it came out, it wasn't violent or anything,
No,
right?
and it was just like, it kept covering its eyes, like, all like, not scared, but like shy, like, don't look at me.
But aren't they nocturnal?
Oh, yeah, that's probably why, because it was like 10 in the morning.
Yeah, it's just like, it's too fucking bright.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, like, why am I awake? I'm supposed to be asleep right now, bitches. Put me back. All right, well, what are we talking about today?
So, today we are going to be talking about financial institutions, currency, money, and how the world is changing. We're going to talk about central bank currencies, vaccine passports, financial crisis.
Holy shit. That's a lot to cover, Heather.
Yeah.
Are we going to have to do 2 parts here?
We're going to talk about social credit scores and FedNow.
All right, let's do it.
So, first, I want to start by just saying that because we are going to talk about the Federal Reserve. For people who don't know what the Federal Reserve is, I'm just going to give you a quick little explanation of the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve System is a banking system which is not owned by anyone. It was created in 1913 by the Federal Reserve Act as the nation's central bank. The Board of Governors in Washington, D.C. has an agency of the federal government and reports directly and is accountable to Congress. So basically, the Federal Reserve is an act that is it's tied in with our government, with our Congress and our government.
Is that like the IRS? Like takes care of that because the Internal Revenue Service, so that's totally different.
I don't think it has anything to do with the IRS.
Alright, because the IRS I always feel like is the banking of the government, but
this is just the Federal Reserve System and who owns it and when it was created. I didn't know how that relates to the IRS specifically. I did not get into the IRS on this. I mean, we are talking about financial, but I didn't get into taxes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about taxes, but not on
that level.
Yeah. So, now that we kind of know who the Federal Reserve is, or the Federal Reserve System, like in our current society, everything is like now. Like everything is at our fingertips. Like everything is on our phone. The way that we can look things up, we can communicate, just technology.
You can even like pay with Apple Pay.
Yeah.
With your phone.
Yeah, everything
you don't even
is
need
just
anything.
Almost instantaneously.
Yes, instantaneous.
Everything, and people want things quicker and quicker in general, And so with that being said, we have different platforms, like you said, we have Apple Pay, we have PayPal, we have Cash App, we
Venmo.
have Zelle, we have Venmo, we have Square. What else?
Did you already say PayPal?
PayPal. Like
there's Google Pay. You don't want to know that because you don't have a Android phone, but
Google
Pay. They do have Google Pay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just like multiple platforms where you can send and receive money to. There's Bill Pay with your bank. You can set up your Bill Pay.
Yeah, that's been there forever.
Yeah. So
do you know how that works when you do that?
I mean, I've actually never used Bill Pay.
I've done it a few times, and it is not instantaneous. In fact, it takes fucking forever. Yeah. Because when you do that, all your bank does, so you're like, hey, I want to pay this person X amount. Your bank literally writes them a check, or like prints up a check from you, and then mails it on your behalf. So you don't have to like write out a check and put it in the mail. But for that whole process to occur, it takes like 3 to 5 days for it to even hit the mail, let alone get to where it's going.
Yeah, so I mean, it's convenient for the customer because you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's still inconvenient a little bit for the businesses.
Yeah, I think now they do it more automatic, but I just know that Bill Pay has been around since like 2008 or so.
Yeah.
And I've like paid like my T-Mobile bill and stuff because I was like, back then it was, you couldn't go online. When it wasn't safe to go online and pay for shit like that. Like, it just wasn't a thing then, you know?
Yeah, when I had my car payment, because I don't have a car payment anymore, the cars that I own right now are paid off. But when I did have a car payment, I did have my car payment through Bill Pay because my loan was through the same banking institute that I banked with. So I just automatically automatically
it was like an auto pay thing.
But that's the only thing that I can
set up as well.
think of that was through like my bank.
Yeah.
Everything else is just through like the debit card, like my car insurance and everything, and like gym membership and everything.
All that. Yeah.
It does come out, I guess, in a sense of like a bill pay, but it's not the same.
It's them pulling it than you pushing it.
Yeah,
because that makes
a little
sense.
bit different.
It's different because they're taking it out, they're requesting it. Where with bill pay, you're requesting to push it through.
Yes.
So like with your car payment, auto pay, anything like credit cards that are set up with your bank, all that stuff. That's you pushing the money out. But your gym membership, Allstate, anything like that, it's them requesting money on a certain day every month.
Yeah.
So it's going the opposite way. And that's why it'll pend, I think, more than instantaneous.
So right now I have all of my bills set up with like some sort of bill pay or auto pay, except for my SDG&E and the water bill. Those are the only ones that I actually like pay, physically pay. Everything else is automatic.
Yeah, I physically pay those two, and then I have auto pay for like minimums, like pay the minimum on auto pay because of the business and stuff, I have a lot of like credit cards.
Sure.
And I can't I'm not gonna be like, oh hey, it's the 7th, this credit card. I don't even know what credit cards I have. It's so bad. I need to get a better idea of what I have. But so I'm like, and then also like times pass really quickly, and I noticed a few years ago that like, you know, if you're even one day late, you get hit with a $40 charge.
Oh, yeah, they get you with the finance fees.
And it's not even that it affects our credit or anything like that, because you have an extra, 30-day grace period before it affects your credit.
Yeah.
So I'd always pay it within that, but it was just, me just forgetting to, go into that account to pay it. So for those months that I forget, it's good to have that, cushion of minimum. At least the minimum is gonna get paid, and I'm not gonna get hit with anything stupid.
Yeah, that way it eliminates if you do forget. I'm sure you want to pay more than a minimum, but at least the minimum comes out. You don't have to worry about that ding or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And having 40 fucking extra.
Because I have Credit Karma.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh my God. The thing is because mine are on auto, and I do the same thing with the minimums, and then most of the time I just pay off the card or pay more, you know?
Yeah, me too.
But I do have the minimum also set up, so auto draft. Just in case.
Yeah, and it's usually $10. I mean, my highest is maybe $200 for the business when it's really high.
And mine are not that high because I try to do everything with cash, which is we're going to get into right now too because of this whole what we're basically discussing. I try to do everything with cash, but the way society is trying to phase
Get rid
that
of
out.
cash. Yeah.
And I even started this year, doing you saw me,
Yeah.
with the cash stuffing envelopes.
Yeah, to try to save cash. And I feel like whenever you use cash, you realize how much you really are spending.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't use cash, you kind of just swipe. And you don't even realize you're swiping. But, if you're at, a concert and you have cash, then you're going to be like, fuck, where did all my money go? Oh, on these $25 drinks. But when you're swiping, it's so easy to be like 25, 25, 25, 25,
mm-hmm.
50 for, merchandise, 25, 25, and, not even... And $500 later, and you wake up in the morning, and you're scared to even look. You're like, God, I don't need. And you're wearing brand new clothes from all this merchandise. You have the hat, you have the new shirt. You got the sweats for $90, the pajama bottoms. You're wearing their socks. You're all fucked up, and you're like, how fucked up was I? How much did those drinks cost? And then we're gonna add on all this merch. I'm not even looking.
Are you reliving Sunday?
Not Sunday, but. That's definitely happened before. Or I have all new jewelry on, we've gone to the mall and stuff,
oh my gosh,
downtown Disney, Pandora.
Oh gosh, we were just talking about that.
Every time we go to Disney, we always stop at Pandora and get something.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, for me, it's that's my souvenir. It's I love rings. I only wear rings. I don't wear any other jewelry. If you ever see me, I only have 1 or 2 rings on max. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Pandora's not that expensive.
It's
compared
not.
To, okay, you want to go get a shirt from Disney for $40? Or do you want to go
you're going to pay more than $40 for
whatever.
a shirt.
Or the jerseys. Those are $70 to $125. Our rings that we get at Pandora are anywhere from $55 to $120. I don't think we've ever paid more than $120 for a ring there.
No, not at all.
And we have the whole set. I collected the whole set.
Yeah, I have a lot also.
We've gone so many times that I've collected the whole goddamn set of these rings, a certain set. Anyways, okay, let's move on because we're so sidetracked right now.
No, we're not.
This is such an ADD podcast.
No, because the thing is, it's about money, okay? And that's what we're talking about today is money and where we spend our money. We like jewelry and we like Disney and we like concerts and merch, and that's people can relate to that. So. But let's get into the guts of today's episode. All right. So today's episode is, focusing on a new service that is going to be rolling out in July of this year, 2023, and it is called the FedNow service.
I am so scared because anytime the federal government gets their little grungy fingers on anything, that we're going to pay more, they're going to be watching us more. It's just all going to be bad, and their system is going to shut down within the first few days. So that's what happened with Obamacare, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
When that happened, their whole system shut down. The Obamacare, they did open enrollment in the first 2 hours, everything shut down.
Oh, wow.
Because their servers, they didn't realize how many people would be and their servers went,
I don't know that this has necessarily happened with the FedNow service, but the FedNow service is a new instant payment infrastructure developed by the Federal Reserve that allows financial institutions of every size across the U.S. to provide safe and efficient instant payment services.
So just like U.S. Bank has Zelle, or Wells Fargo has Zelle, U.S. Bank has Venmo, I think. I don't know which one they have, whatever. But whichever way it is, they each have their own, every banking, so they're all just going to go straight to
the FedNow service.
So then that way the federal government has complete access to...
But it's the Federal Reserve, not necessarily federal government, but the Federal Reserve is directly ran by the government. But but remember, no one owns it. It's a Federal Reserve Act.
So someone has to own it. Someone not own it, but be in charge of it.
The government is. So yeah.
Wow, shocker.
So this new FedNow service will allow keyword participating, because they're saying you don't have to participate. It's only if you bank with somebody who participates and they opt in, and you yourself can opt in or opt out of it. It's not going to be mandatory.
I bet that if they do offer FedNow, they will get some sort of tax incentive to make them want to offer FedNow.
We might get there, yeah. But right now I haven't heard anything about that.
Not us, but for the banking.
Oh, like some kind of kickback or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for offering it just to, like, the first few years just to get people to do it. Just like they do with solar here. Mm-hmm. You get, like, a $30,000 fucking credit or some shit if you get solar.
Oh, I didn't know that, yeah.
I don't think it's not a thing anymore, I don't think. It was only a thing in, like, 2009, 10, 11, like, when solar first happened.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. They're trying to push it out ceilings, more.
Yeah.
Now everybody wants it.
So there's no reason.
So, yeah, that makes sense. So, with the participating financial institutes of any size across the U.S., the idea is going to provide safe and efficient instant payment services.
Yeah.
So, two keywords, participating and keyword instant. Through financial institutions participating in the FedNow service, businesses and individuals can send and receive instant payments in real time. Another keyword they use, real time, around the clock every day of the year. Like 365 days out of the year, 24/7. It's not like a check where it's going to take so many days to clear, or if you go to say you go to Starbucks and you swipe your card, and if you're using the FedNow, if you're able to use the FedNow service, then they get their money right when you do it. The store doesn't have to wait.
Yeah, so then why wouldn't they all participate?
Well, because some people don't even know about it yet. But the financial institution and their service providers can use the service to provide innovative instant payment service to customers, and recipients will have full access to the funds immediately, allowing for a greater financial flexibility. So that is kind of like, that is all from the source of the FRBservice.org, which is the FedNow. Like if you go on there, this is verbatim, like what they're saying about it. Like, so they're hyping it up that it's going to be like, really good for everybody.
Of course they are.
There's phases that they're going to deploy. So the first phase is going to be the initial launch, which is taking place in July 2023. The first launch is going to basically just create a baseline for the functionality, to see how it works, like in real time, and what the demand is for the service, just to see how many people want to participate and like how it goes. So I don't know if it's going to last or what's going to happen, but the first phase is starting in July 2023. And there is going to be a cost for this, so people are, probably wondering, well, how much will the FedNow cost users? It is reported that it's going to be approximately a $25 monthly service fee in order to participate in the FedNow.
Is that for the users or the banks and all that? That's for the users, right?
So the note I have here says that it is a $25 FedNow service participation fee for each routing transaction number that enrolls to receive.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, it goes
so
by
all of my accounts will get $25, $25.
For every routing number.
Do you know how much that is a year? That's $300 a year.
Per household,
account.
per person.
Not per household. Not per person, per account. Because our household...
Well, it depends on how many accounts
our household has like 5 different accounts. Because we have like credit union. We have different, not that we use all of them, but it's just like on Venmo, I don't pay shit.
No.
And I can have every fucking account that I want on there. Same with PayPal.
Yeah, it's per routing number.
So why the fuck would we do that? Why would we do that?
I don't know. That's what they're proposing here.
It doesn't make fucking sense. They're idiots. And if you sign up for it, you're an idiot too. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I'll let you know in August.
So FedNow also has a lower transaction limit. So the limit is $500,000 per transaction.
Oh, wow. Because that really is going to affect the American people.
I mean, it will affect, like, financial institutions because...
Oh, wait, per financial institution or
yeah,
per routing number?
It just says, the note that I have says, FedNow also has a lower transaction limit of $500,000 instead of the RTP, which is the real-time payments, has $1 million. So it's half the amount.
Is that per account, per routing, or per bank?
So the findings that I have here is per routing number, they can increase or decrease it starting at $100,000, but the max limit would be $500,000 per routing number. And it's at the bank's discretion. Instead of the RTP, which is a real-time payment, has a limit of $1 million. The RTP is operated by, different banks, large banking institutions, while the FedNow is operated by the Federal Reserve.
All right. That was a mouthful of a paragraph.
That was. So,
that seems like a lot of money, like $500,000 per person or $100,000. Like, I'm not well, if you're a business, I could see the value in that if you're a business, but as a general person, like...
No, I think this is just it's for business, primarily businesses, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think if you own a Starbucks, and then you're going to be doing large transactions or whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You own a McDonald's franchise.
I own a machine shop and I do this.
You own a machine shop. There you go, yeah. I'm just trying to think of, like, big corporations.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's how I'm like, it has to be a business thing because most people don't try to sell 100,000 or 500,000, like in any sort of period.
And think about that also. When, let's say they can do the $500,000, it's going to be instant. Uh-huh. They're going to have that money right away. There's no waiting.
So there is somebody, I don't know, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to tell you what customer it is.
Yeah.
But I do get a lot of ACH payments now, so it's like automatic. Like they'll send it, and I'll get it like the next day. Usually it's the next day. Mm-hmm. And they'll tell me, oh, I'm sending this, and the next day it arrives in my bank account. But some companies I get like instant. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they do because I don't pay anything. I don't know if they pay extra. I don't know what happens on their end or what they use. But there is an instant because I'll be getting like, all of a sudden I'll look 1 second and I have X amount. And then all of a sudden I look like an hour later and I have X times 2 amount. Yeah. Like it like came in and I'm like, wait, that shouldn't happen until tonight at like midnight or 3 a.m. or, whenever that occurs in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
It really does occur at random times.
No, I believe it because it depends on when the original transaction went through and then how much time has to pass before you have your funds available. I
don't know. It happened, but it's supposed to like when you deposit like checks or things are processing like whatever not completed stuff. Mm-hmm. Things will go through like all at the same time in the middle of the night. So things are processed and so it's like almost like when the computer decides to do yours. Yeah. Like, it's like almost like a automated thing in the middle of the night that
I think it's like
when it decides or something. I don't know.
No, it's probably like in the queue. Like if you want to print something, you have like a printing queue. Like you're in the queue. You're just like you haven't came up yet.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I've literally waited for money because like I've been like owning a business is fucking stressful, right? And so I've literally been like on pins and needles, like checking my account every hour from like midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. And then all of a sudden, like, 3:38. There it is. But then the next time I do that, it's like 11:40. There it is, p.m. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, my only business is Poshmark, and I'm like, that's enough stress.
But yeah, no, because I have I've what's it called? Direct deposit for my employees.
Yeah.
And so I literally have had employees texting me at like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Because our first shift used to start at 4:30 or 5 in the morning. And they would text me and be like, dude, my money's not there. What the fuck? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's freaking 6 in the morning. Check again. And then all of a sudden it's there.
It's in the queue. Just tell them it's in the queue.
It's in the queue somewhere. In the queue. But like you can't tell that to an employee who's expecting their fucking money at midnight. Supposedly.
Well, maybe they have stuff that's going to automatically come out that day or
whatever. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how it all queues up or whatever. Anyways, that's my rant for right now.
No, but I'm glad that you went off on that because I'm glad that you touched on the ACH because I was going to talk about the Fed ACH, which is the Federal Reserve's Bank Automatic Clearinghouse Service. And going back a little, 2007, the Fed ACH processed about, I don't know why I have 2007, but I do, processed about 37 million transactions per day with an average value of, total value for the day of $58 billion for the day. And that's for all of
for
US.
PayPal, Zelle, everything.
And I don't know why I have 2000. Well, this is in 2007, so whatever was available
they had
then.
PayPal then. They did have bill pay. They had PayPal.
But this is specifically for the ACH.
But nobody really used it so much. But I think that because I used to transfer money between me and my ex-boyfriend at that time, and I used to transfer money to Holly all the time too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I said that wrong because I didn't continue my note. Continued on page 6. No, what are you doing? This is my note here. Oh, okay. You're going to the wrong page.
Sorry, I'm just flipping to the next page.
It's not on the next page. I do not write notes like that. My next note could be on page 20, and it says,
guys, she has a spiral notebook.
It says I'm on page 3. It says continue on page 6,
and I saw her a flip to 3 different pages. I'm like, no, here, let me help you. And she's like, stop touching my shit. What are you doing?
No.
Because why would that be normal to go page 3, 4, 5, 6? That's stupid. Obviously.
My brain does not work that way. So continue.
And I'm the one with ADD. And they med me up, and I think you need the meds more than me.
Quite possibly, but continued from page 3. Now we're on page 6. The Fed ACH $58 billion. For comparison, the Fed Wire processed about 537,000 transactions, valued at nearly $2.7 trillion.
Holy shit.
Per day in the same year, 2007. So that's the difference between the Fed Wire and the Fed ACH in
But why
funds.
were they Feding then? Why was the federal, was it any ACH or was it the federal?
Federal Reserve Bank's automatic clearing service. Yes,
why
it is a Federal Reserve. This is all Federal Reserve.
Well, you know why? Because they're paying contractors and they're paying people. They are paying, obviously, they have to pay the cities or the workers, and people work at the FBI and shit. Mm-hmm. And government positions. The president has to get paid once a month or a year or whatever.
Yeah, and the FedNow, which is what was supposed to roll out in this July 2023, it's going to service more than, right now they say more than 10,000 financial institutions.
Different institutions?
Directly or through their agents.
Okay.
And it's stating that it's not going to replace Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, or any other tech or any other person-to-person services. The P2P person-to-service is not going to replace it. It's just going to be another one that you could participate in. And their whole thing is going to be, this is going to be instant. Well, you can use PayPal if you want, but you might not get your money for a week or 3 days or however long it takes. So which one would you want?
For $25 a month, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Because on Venmo, you can get your money instantly, but you pay 3%. Yeah. Well, okay, honestly, guys, how much do you Venmo? Okay, let's say you Venmo $1,000 a month. 3% would be $30. So if you're not Venmoing more than $1,000 a month, there's no reason, and you want your money instantaneous for that 1,000, there is no reason to get FedNow. Mm-hmm. Unless you are doing $1,000 a month where you need your money right in the next hour. Yeah. Right?
I mean, that's true, but how many people are just going to jump on it thinking that, what's another $25 subscription?
Me!
What if they only have one routing number? And they're like, you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have all these things that add up. You just add it to the little roster.
No! $25. No, nobody does that. Nobody's rostering up another charge, another monthly charge. They're only to $800 now. Why not one more? Nobody is doing that. You know what I do, though, for all, that shit? Netflix, I don't, because I get it free through T-Mobile. I get one like this individual plan for free, and then I just pay the extra for the family plan or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But T-Mobile, that's like their thing. I know Verizon used to have Disney, I believe, or
I have
Hulu.
T-Mobile, and I don't have any free streaming services.
You know what I found out like 2 years or a year ago or so? I was grandfathered into something. So they don't ever want to fuck with my contract because they're like, you were grandfathered into this specific plan or whatever. But anyways.
Oh, okay.
So I go through, because I have Amazon Prime and the Fire Stick. Like, I'm an Amazon whore, okay? You got my Disneyland, you got my Amazon. I'm a happy girl. Mm-hmm. And so I've had Amazon Prime since 2014. And even before, like, the Amazon Fire Stick was out, like, I had it. Like, before it was even, like, a smart TV type thing. Like, because I just wanted the free shipping.
Oh, yeah, everybody wants free shipping.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about the rest. And anyways, so I finally ended up just going completely, like in 2017 or 18, we went completely streaming. And through Amazon, you can get History Channel, Noggin, Boomerang, like all these different channels, HBO, Showtime. So there's been times when I've been subscribed to like 10 different channels, and I'm like, this is not cheaper than cable. Fuck this shit. So I'll go through and I'll like, just delete them all. And then I just delete them all. I'm like unsubscribe to all of them. And then I tell Brad like, oh, if you want to, or if we want to use it, we can still use it, just re-sign up. Yeah. But just FYI, I've gone through and I've deleted everything. And I do that every so often because Brad will get on these kicks where he's on the History Channel like every day for a month to watch some show, and then he doesn't use it for 6 months.
Oh, yeah, you don't need it anymore.
So then why am I going to pay $7 a month for 6 months? So, no, I'm on that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that extra $25, no. No, mm-mm.
And the fact that it's per routing number is a lot.
That's an extra. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you have to have different, like, logins?
Oh,
I can't even remember one login.
I know. Everything I do is like, send verification code, send verification
Change
code.
password, send username, forgot username, forgot password, forgot everything. I know. Just let me into my shit. I'm me.
But see, also, like, what is this leaning towards? This is leaning towards a cashless society. Right?
Yeah.
They want everything. Everybody wants everything instant.
Instantaneous.
And then also, like, minus all the fees and stuff, just everything. Everybody wants everything just now.
Yeah.
And when you stand in line and you wait and somebody, like, pulls out, like, their wallet and they're, like, counting out their cash and they get in there's little change purse and they're counting out their quarters and
you
stuff.
You should see what she's doing right now with her, like, she's like mimicking it, like she's like mimicking like the counting out the dollars, getting the little coins, 53 cents, and like she's like, here's a quarter, here's a dime and a nickel.
And the thing is like, it really doesn't take that long, because if you think about, like, when we were younger and stuff, and, like, before, like, you could only pay with cash or check, think how long it took to write a check at the grocery store.
Oh, my God, the check was so ridiculous. When I worked at Steinmart in different places, they still accepted checks. Oh, wow. I literally had to do that a few times, like, process a check.
Yeah.
Like, what? And this was in, like, 2010.
And then think about, too, like, the younger generations now, like, the generations, like, are the young, not even millennials, like, our kids' my kids' generation, where the Gen Z, where, like, they are starting to get jobs now, like, they're getting to the age where they can work, and they've never grown up really with cash. I mean, they have, but they haven't, like, they
know what cash is, but they've never had to use it.
The thing that I'm seeing a lot right now is, like, okay, so there's a little town called Valley Center in California. And fun fact, I grew up in Valley Center. Fun fact, when I grew up in Valley Center, we had, like, one stoplight.
Oh, my God, fun fact, by the way, you had said that, like, before you were like, oh, I grew up in the sticks, didn't want to say where you were from, and now you're like, Valley Center.
Well, the thing is like,
she doesn't live there anymore.
I don't live there anymore.
Like,
it doesn't matter. But the point that I'm trying to make is they have a McDonald's now. Which is like
my God,
big deal for Valley Center.
So Brad's family has family in Anza, and which is like a tiny little nothing. And like 2 years ago on Facebook, his cousin was like, "We got a Dollar Tree! I'm so excited!" But like you go out there and literally to get from her house to said Dollar Tree, it's a 25-minute up and down freaking roads, dirt roads, washed
BC's
out
not
roads.
like that,
but Anza is still like that.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
BC's not like that, but I'm seeing a lot of people that like I know people that like go there and people that like, you know, maybe they have children that work there, and these people that are like, they don't know, these generation, they don't know how to count change back.
No, it's hilarious.
They never dealt. They're like, if you give them money, they're like, look at it like it's a foreign, like, what is this?
Did you hear
like,
about, like...
why are you giving me a $20 bill? Like, how do I... And if you give them, like...
A $2 bill?
No, you give them, like, a $20 bill with, like, a quarter, and then, like, to get back, like, exact change or something, they're like, well, what do I need
Why
the
do
quarter?
I need a quarter?
I don't need the quarter.
Just put it in your fucking computer, because it's all out there. It's all they have to do. But you know what? Their buttons is 1, 5, 10, 20, like gives them options.
Yeah.
So for them to actually type in 2005 or
2025 and
is
like to
not
get that
okay.
$5 back or like whatever.
Yeah. And it's just like put it in your fucking computer.
Yeah.
And you'll see.
And that's the thing.
It's like magic.
They don't.
Math is magic, and it's science and shit.
They don't understand. Like, it's foreign almost to them already with this Gen Z. So think about like the next generation,
like my
and
kids.
The next generation.
So for Max, for his tooth fairy, so just so you know, in my household, which would be great if everybody did this, so Max and my kids don't think I'm lying to them, but the tooth fairy only brings $2 bills, and that's why there's so few $2 bills, because you only lose your teeth once, and the only way to get them is through the tooth fairy or St. Patrick's Day.
Well, you lose your teeth 20 times technically.
Yeah, so every person can only have $22 bills in their lifetime, and that is how that happens. So that's why they're so rare, because it's not something you get all the time.
Yeah.
So I have decided to tell that to my kids because we travel a lot. So to keep that going, my husband was like, don't do anything too crazy, because if they lose a tooth while we're at a race or while we're in the desert or while we're traveling,
how is the tooth fairy going to bring the $2?
How is the tooth fairy going to like do this whole glitter pathway of this and that and all this crazy shit? So he's like, so no, I have $2 bills stashed in all the trailers. I have them everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I have, like, and whenever I go to the bank, I try to get...
That's so nice that the tooth fairy gave you extra ones just in case they need
don't
to
know
take a little
have
break.
But no, when you go to the bank even, I'll be like, I want all your $2 bills. And they are literally going to different cash registers to collect as many as they can. And the most I've ever gotten from one bank is 6 of them.
Oh, wow.
Nobody has them. They can order them if I want. Because I have 3 kids. So 20 times 3... I need a shit ton of $2 bills. Well, anyways, so Max, the first time, I was like, what'd the tooth fairy get you? And he looks, he goes, a fake dollar. He didn't even think it was real.
Oh, because he's never seen
one.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I'm like, no, it's real. We can take it to the store, I promise. But then I'm like, dude, the little Gen Z person that probably gonna think it's fake too.
Exactly. And then has he ever seen like a dollar, the
I don't
coin?
think he would. I don't think that he would notice the difference. I don't think that he's at that age yet where he would actually be like, oh look, like I don't think he's like, oh, coins. He's not like, this is a quarter, this is a dime.
Yeah.
Because it's not even, like, they don't even teach them that in kindergarten. Because there's no reason. Because nobody uses freaking change.
That's what I'm saying. And it's happened to me before where, like, I've gone and they were supposed to give me a quarter and they gave me one of the little dollar pieces. And probably somebody young that didn't even realize it wasn't a quarter. Like, they probably took it and didn't give the other person the right change back or something.
Yeah.
And
I have no idea.
They have no concept of it. And, there are already countries that are actually phasing out cash.
Yeah.
Like, they have cashless societies already. For the most part, in India, cash is pretty much illegal. As of November 8th, 2016, cash became virtually illegal.
Wow.
70%.
That's insane. Yeah. 2016. That's,
November 8th, 2016, it became illegal. Like, it was against the law.
To use cash?
To use cash.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, and when this happened, 70% of the economy crashed, like, right away.
Yeah, because you can't just do that. You got to phase it in. Like, you got to use COVID. Make sure everybody is non-contact, no cash.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use something like that.
So...
to get everybody on board.
On November 8th, 2016, India's Supreme Court made a decision to demonetize 86% of the country's cash in circulation to target undeclared black money and to fight corruption.
Like black market money, like drug money and shit?
Yep. And to fight corruption, which then led to the economy crash. Like, their economy has since, like, picked up and everything, you know, like, but they only right now, even though it's technically illegal, there is still 14% of cash that is used in day-to-day, and it's primarily, like, the older generations, like, the grandmas and grandpas. They're not supposed to use cash, and people aren't supposed to use cash, but they don't have smartphones. They don't have, like, a way to be cashless. Like, they still have to buy food and groceries and stuff, and they get by, and they do it, but it's only 14%.
I have a conspiracy about all this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking about the drugs and stuff. Are you going to talk about that conspiracy with drugs and stuff, or no?
No, I'm gonna talk a little bit about crime and drugs in general,
well then I'll wait.
But not like
no, I have a good one that I just thought of.
You can go ahead and say it now.
Okay.
Yeah, say it now.
I'm not sure where else in America this is occurring, but in San Francisco there are in California, San Francisco, California, there is like places you can go to safely inject yourself with heroin.
They have that all over.
Is that all over America?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
it could be here. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't do heroin. Sorry, guys.
No, but like,
I don't know the inside.
Well,
I know they have dopamine or whatever clinics.
What it is they'll give you a clean needle so that way you're not spreading like HIV and other like infectious diseases like hepatitis and different things.
And that's the thought behind it. But okay, but then let's just also
you're not dumping your used needle in a park where a kid's gonna step on it. Like they have receptacles,
the needle safe,
like
safe drops. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then let's go over to pot. So 26 out of however many states have already legalized pot. So kids aren't doing drug deals on the side of the road anymore. Now they're in a park or whatever. They're now doing it to where they're being taxed.
Oh, yeah.
The drugs are being taxed. It's all legal in California here. And I know that in some states, shrooms are legal now. They're starting to legalize all these things, all these drugs.
Oregon, like, pretty much all drugs are legal in Oregon.
Okay, well, anyways. So they're making money off these drug deals now that used to be, like, black market. And so my thought is that what if they're doing that in order to do this cashless society? Because my thought is, like, well, if I was 16 or 15 trying to get pot, like, how would that work if I have to do a cash now, FedNow, whatever, cashless society? That wouldn't work.
Well, in California, you can just go to a dispensary.
But now you can, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That now you wouldn't. You would just go and then you would get taxed. They would know where you spent your money. They know who all the potheads are, all the fucking, mushroom
They don't even
acid.
care about
they
pot
don't even,
anymore.
well, they don't. But that's how it's going to be, is that they're not going to give a shit, and they want us all to be, like, mind-controlled zombies, just, like, all, like, dead, like, on all drugs and alcohol and everything else, and then...
Well, if
do you get what I'm saying?
No, I
know it sounds out there, but...
No, it's not out there, because everybody knows that, like LSD was created by the government, and then, like, when we go to, like, I believe it's Afghanistan, I might be wrong, people, because this is just on the fly, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, that they have, our soldiers go to Afghanistan, or whatever country it is, and they protect the poppy fields, the opium fields. They're there to protect them. Yes.
That makes sense.
Like, and that's the heroin, that's where heroin comes from.
Yeah, opiate,
Yeah, opiate. And it might not be Afghanistan, it could be another country, but
then you think about it, and the heroin opiate thing, that is oxycodone. That is synthetic OxyContin, that's synthetic heroin. So they do need that shit or whatever so they can...
And the government works with the cartels to bring in drugs and stuff from Mexico and stuff. They're all together, in cahoots.
But then they made it so hard to get, like... They put on such a stronghold on the war against drugs, like, as far as, like, prescription drugs and stuff. Like, they're not as willy-nilly as they used to be, you know?
So if you have back pain or you have a surgery or
they'll give you, like, ibuprofen. They're like, no, you can't have Vicodin because too many people are addicted.
Well, because it's a Class C.
Yeah, but before you could have anybody pick it up and stuff. Like, for my Adderall, my, like, ADHD medicine or whatever, you have to be over 18 to pick it up. They scan your ID. It's like anybody can pick it up, but it's, like, a big deal to pick it up. Like, where the first time... that they just enacted that, like, a few years ago. And Brad was like, what the fuck? Like, they need my ID. They need all this shit. Like, I think you're the only one that can pick it up. Because it's yours. And now, because I never go to the store. I always have Brad go to go pick up my prescriptions and stuff. I'm like, just go. And, he was like, I don't think I can do it anymore. There's a new law, and I think you have to. And then then I went the next time, and I was like, let me hear about this law. I don't want to do this. So, how can I put him on an approved list or some shit?
Sure,
But they said, no, as long as you're over 18 and that we can, like, scan the ID just so that way if you come back and you're like, dude, I didn't get my shit, they'll be like, well, this person then stole your prescription,
This
you know?
is where it's who picked it up,
who picked it up, then that's exactly what it is.
I mean, that makes sense because they do have to keep a record of, you know, and
but they never
they can't give it to kids. I understand
that. Yeah, no, I get all that, but it used to not be like that. Like, anybody.
It's more regulated.
Like, Zane, my stepson, when he was, like, 16, would go in and get it for me.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I have to have, I mean, Zane's 22 now, but I have to have da-da-da-da. Jackie goes and picks it up. Like, anybody can as long as they're over 18 and have an ID.
Yeah. And I wonder if your ID is not valid for some reason. Like, if it, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, you need to renew it. If they'd be like, oh, your ID is not valid. Like, it's expired.
Yeah. So,
did they do that?
So, my niece comes in from Vegas. So, she was here over the weekend. I took her back on Monday. And when I was flying back, I go to a certain, I go there a lot. So, I have, like, a little bartender. Her name is Jenny. Hi, Jenny. And
what up, Jenny?
so she's amazing, and she keeps me company, and she's right past TSA, and so I don't even know how we were talking about, but this past Monday we were talking about IDs, and she said that the TSA is able to take expired licenses and shit. Oh. Because they can verify it because they have the right technology or what, because they're like government.
Okay.
But she can't. So if it's expired for her because she just has whatever for the bar.
Yeah, but don't you only need to know what their birthday is.
I know. So I never got it. I don't know. Because I also, because like one time I had gone to the airport without my ID by accident. Because, like, I had just had Max, I wasn't drinking, and, like, I didn't have an ID on me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they were able to verify me through, because luckily for some reason, like, in my backpack I had a checkbook.
Oh.
Because that's a normal thing to have, carrying around. Well, I do now, but...
But how would they verify you with a checkbook?
And a prescription. Luckily, I didn't check any of my prescriptions. I kept them on my person.
That is so random.
So, they were able to verify who I was between both of those. And then I had my assistant at that time fucking overnight me my fucking ID so I could drink wherever we were going.
Plus, like, what if you wanted to rent a car? Or what if you wanted to, like, anything?
Do anything. Well, I had Brad to do all, like, renting a car and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, but you just never know.
Just drinking in general.
Yeah, what if you need to just show who you are for, like, you get pulled over for something, or, I don't know, whatever.
I used to always get pulled over with no ID. They just look you up because I know my ID number. My license number.
You have yours memorized?
Fuck yeah, I do.
I don't have mine memorized.
As soon as I found out, it never changes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't change.
Your ID to your driver's license, it never changes.
I just don't remember it. I don't know why.
I filled out so many fucking paper applications for jobs and shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, back then, guys, you had to actually fill out paper.
Yeah, there was no, like, online Indeed, LinkedIn, or whatever people use
auto, like, fills everything for you. Like, you actually had to, like, know shit. Anyways, okay, go on.
So we were talking about the India Supreme Court and how they went from basically Cashless Society to 14% cash daily use, like in the circulation. There's other countries also that have cash limits. And like I just want to put a little disclaimer out here. I tried to search up every single country and I only found 4. It doesn't mean that there isn't other countries that are doing this. It's just that I maybe suck at researching this and I only found 4. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But so in Greece, they have a limit of 500 euros cash limit per day. That's how much you can get from your bank, spend, use. It's 500 euros. Okay. In Italy, it's 1,000 euros, and in Spain, it's 1,000 euros per day
that you can get out. But we have the same types of limit.
No, but that's all you can spend for the day. That's your cash limit.
So if you were to buy a car,
no, everything is on. Yeah, you can't. This data that I have is as of September 29th, 2022 that I found these 4.
Wow.
So Greece is 500, Italy, Spain is 1,000. They all use euros, and then India is almost 0 with only 14% being
that's
cash.
Insane.
Yeah, and then my source for that is the Europe consumers.eu. So then we get into China. China's another one.
I can picture that. They have so many freaking people.
My source for this is the ChinaDaily.com, which is just like their, daily little news blurb. But China has transformed into a cashless society thanks to the e-payment apps and more than 1 billion smartphone owners in China, because there's such a huge population in China. About 80% of the Chinese population no longer even carry cash. And the most that do are the elderly who don't understand the apps, how to pay by phone.
Yeah, they have to be nice to them.
Yeah, so they are actually really nice to the elderly in China. So nice that the central authorities have issued a regulation saying that realtors should not refuse cash payment. And those who do refuse cash payment will be punished, such as it's considered discrimination to not take cash payment from anyone, elderly, disabled, child. You could be somebody our age. And the thing is, we go in there with cash and they might look at us funny, what are you doing? But they can't say anything because there's a regulation that it's considered discrimination. It's you can't sexually discriminate.
You can't. It's called ageism.
Yeah, you cannot do it.
You know what's great though is I bet that there's so many younger people that are like, "Hey, grandma, what's up? Can you buy this house for me?"
Oh,
you know what I mean? I got the cash. Let's just do a little cash deal.
I mean, I don't know. They
I don't know what
if they get maybe an incentive, they get a cash discount. I don't even know if they would.
I don't know. Cash is not king like it used to be. It used to be king. Yeah, my dad was able to get a VA loan, and so we were always talking about okay, Dad, before you die, let me use your VA loan.
Yeah,
but we never did, so that's the thing.
Oh well, even in China, it even goes to then people say, well, what about beggars or what about people who are homeless? Because every country has a homeless population. It's inevitable that
FedNow. Here's my QR code.
Exactly. So the beggars in the streets will not take cash. In China specifically.
Wow, that was my joke.
No, they will not take cash.
That's insane.
Instead, they have boards that they carry with them with a plastic-coated QR codes connected to their financial institutions of their choice. So
I wonder if they get 1099. If they have that, I don't know. That's an American thing for 1099. But I wonder if they get taxed on the money that they receive.
I mean, I don't know.
And then I wonder if
work.
the other people that give it get some sort of tax credit for charitable contribution.
But think about, can you, like, I haven't seen it yet in America, but, like, can you see somebody
in
with,
Vegas.
like, a sign and it's, like, a QR code?
Yes.
You've
I
seen
have seen it in Vegas. I've seen it in the really populated areas. I have, like, because like I said, I travel a lot, so I, like, go see things. And
I have not.
I have, like, only once or twice, but I've definitely seen QR for Venmo.
That's insane. I mean, it's not insane. It's the times that we live in. Everything is instant.
Yeah,
Everything
I've definitely,
is
like, or it'll be like, we're on our honeymoon, like, on the car, and it's like, buy us a drink, Venmo / and then, like, the username or whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah.
But then we get into, like, also, you know, what are, like, some of the pros and cons in a sense of, like, a cashless society? So some of the things that we can talk about with a cashless society is a less cash could mean less crime, like bank robberies, home burglaries, maybe car break-ins, and on a larger scale, corruption, money laundering. Cash is essentially untraceable. You did talk about earlier, you talked about drug deals and things.
So that's why I could see, like, money laundering and then breaking into the car. Okay, cool. You broke into a car. You stole a car. Now what are you going to do with it?
No, I mean, they break in. I'm talking about, like, tweakers that are looking for, like, money and, like,
but that's but, like, even then, like, you wouldn't be able to do anything because you can't spend cash.
Yeah, because for
what are you going to do? Go to somebody and be like, hey, Venmo me for the jewelry that I just stole out of this car or the house or whatever, right?
Exactly. And criminals, they can, you know, they use cash as a tool, and it's not going to be the same type of tool anymore. It's not. Everything is going to be digital currency, and it is less easy to exploit, like you were saying. Like, you steal something out of a car, how are you going to get rid of it?
Yeah, unless you need that item, like, for yourself. And that would be it. Like,
the other thing, let's say if you're in a cashless society and everything is digital currency, if you call your bank, they can shut it down quickly if it's in the wrong hands.
Yeah, that is nice about that, because when my business credit cards have been compromised, I mean... Yeah. The first year that we had the business, $12,000 to the New York Light Company.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I know. I called them. They had no idea what the fuck I was talking about, and somebody had posed as them to get the money or whatever. And
it was a scam.
It was a total scam, and luckily we were able to contact the bank and be like, "What the fuck?" And they fixed it all or whatever. But
yeah,
so that's always useful.
And then with cash, it's like when your cash is gone, your cash is gone. There's no getting it back. They're not going to try to trace it. On the flip
side, they wouldn't be able to do that because I wouldn't have $12,000 cash for somebody to grab.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? Like,
but if you have money, like, at your house so in a safe or something,
hackers.
you know.
There'll be more hackers.
Yeah. There's already a lot of scams.
There's already a lot of hackers that get your credit card information and steal it, but, like, luckily everybody's FDIC insured or whatever, and the credit card companies take back or give you back the money, but, like, obviously there's going to be more of that, so that's a con.
And then the other thing that people are worried about is the regulations from the government themselves. Like, one of the big things right now that everyone is pushing is the climate change. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everyone is saying that they're going to phase out electric cars. Well, at least in California. I say everyone. Did I say electric?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, gas cars.
By, like, 2034, they're all supposed to be gone.
Yeah, and then that's California. I don't know about, like, the rest of the nation, but, like, we were talking about solar earlier, you know, the incentives for solar. And now, with that being said, it's like, well, you can only go to the gas station, you know, once a week and fill up your car. You know, like, for an example of what they could shut it down.
You did because of the FedNow Cash App thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
like, you would have your allotted amount that you are allowed, almost like the 1984 George Orwell book.
It really is, like, starting to be like that, like, rationale, and that's what it seems like.
Like, or if you want to take a flight somewhere, you can only go on, let's say, 3 flights a year, like round trip or something, for example. I don't know, just making it up.
Or maybe so many miles to and from or some shit. Like you're allotted 2,000 miles a year.
Because of climate change, and they're
And
trying
they don't
to
want
cut
to use
down
the gas
on
and the emissions and all that.
Well, everything's like, oh, your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
You want to lower your carbon footprint. And so I can, like, people are saying, like, yeah, that could be how it could be too. And then the other thing is, if you look at how they model with China, they have the whole social credit score. So they do have a social credit score where, let's say, if you, I don't know how extreme it is, because I did try to look it up and I didn't find a lot of information, but the way that they do it is, let's say, you jaywalk. I don't know. It's just like a.
But here in California, jaywalking's illegal or legal.
It is legal now.
Legal now as of January 1st or whatever. Yeah.
Thought
I know. I keep saying that too. I was trying to explain to Brad what we were doing, and I used that as a.
So let's say you jaywalk, and then like they catch you jaywalking, and you get like a fine for it. Well, they're just gonna it's not like you're gonna go to court and like you're gonna like it's just like you automatically just gets taken out of your account.
Yeah.
Like you are just deducted
speeding,
that amount.
If you're speeding, or if you litter, or if you
do anything that's like not socially acceptable or looked down on, or you're not like pleasant or kind or whatever.
Yeah, but the social credit is different than a fine. So if you don't return back the cart at the store, you might be deducted 5 points of your social credit. But then if you help an elderly person across the road, then you might be added on.
Yeah,
we're not sure. Obviously, like I didn't look into this at all.
No, I did.
Getting snippets from Heather, and Heather has looked into this, and that's the best way that I know how to explain it from what you've told me.
Yes, and the thing is like I did try to look into it more, but honestly, I didn't really find a lot of good information, to be honest. So it is speculation on how it works. 100% speculation on how it works. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
100% speculation, but
it's like season 1, episode 1 of Black Mirror.
I
don't know if you saw that, but it was a social thing, and then all of a sudden this chick, it focused on one chick, and she was like had a social score of 100, and then all of a sudden like one rumor came out about her, and it just kept going down, and then she was being denied at going to like social functions, so it just kept going down, and she was in this really nice house, and everything was great, and then all of a sudden it shows her just being like homeless and all like no makeup, just all drabby, because nobody would even talk to her because it would make their social credit whatever go down.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like a real life social media of like how many followers you have, how much for this, and whatever.
Yeah, so like I don't know, that's just, it's very extreme, but it is happening in other parts of the world. So that people don't want that to happen here, because it would be we wouldn't even really be like a free country anymore at that point.
No, you should be free to not saying it's right, but you should be free to go on litter if you wanted to and be a jackass. You should definitely be free to fly wherever you want to within America. I mean, or else what are we? Not the land of the free at that point. You should be allowed to be like homeless, or you should be allowed to, live off the grid, and you should be allowed to do all these you should be allowed to make the choices. Mm-hmm. And that's the land of the free. Of making the choices. You shouldn't have a credit score to be like, oh, you didn't return the cart back to the stall.
And living off the grid is a good one to mention too, because in some parts of our nation it's even like illegal to collect rainwater.
Here, where we live,
it's illegal to collect rainwater.
Yes, it is illegal to collect rainwater here.
And a lot of people will use it like for their irrigation, for their vegetable garden, or
whatever.
For
their own sustaining of life, and it's illegal, like technically, and that was going on since 2013 or 14 for sure. Like, you cannot, collect rainwater from your gutter.
And that's insane, because it's it's natural. It's from the sky. Mm-hmm. What, you're going to charge us for air next, or what? Like, you can't breathe
that's
without,
called taxes, babe.
Don't breathe. Hold your breath. How long can you hold your breath?
that's been a running joke, but really, taxes, you can't turn around without paying taxes. That's pretty much your tax to breathe. Mm-hmm. You can't live off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
You physically cannot live off the grid.
People do, though. People do.
They do, but they still have to. Even if you make no money, you have to file taxes, even if it's a zero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what you do, even if you're like, I made no money, I didn't do shit, I have no employers, I have no W-2s, I have nothing, I'm completely off the grid, you have to file your taxes.
I think if you earn under a certain amount, you don't have to.
No, you just don't get taxed on it.
Oh,
you still have to file and be like, I made $800 this year.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've always filed my taxes, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, because I've always had jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's literally, like, you're supposed to, because, like, my dad, like, he didn't make anything last year that he lived or whatever, and he's all, fuck it, I'm not going to file. And I was like, well, you need to, like, what about, like, I don't know, you just need to, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I do know it's a law, like, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But he died April 22nd, so, of last year. So it was, like, 6 days past tax season, so nobody didn't catch up to him.
Nobody came after, yeah.
No. I got the letters, but...
But
he was gone
you
by
can
then.
just send a death certificate after that,
Yeah,
right?
no, I didn't do shit. Fuck that.
Well, if
What are they
ever
gonna
ask-
do? Go fucking find his fucking burial spot? No.
I don't know how far they would take it, but... So, in the wake of all of this with the FedNow rolling out in the July 2023, this coming summer, there's been a whole incident with Cash App, the founder of Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
So, the founder of Cash App's name is Bob Lee, and he was 43 years old. He was actually murdered by a tech consultant. He was arrested and charged for murder. His name is Nima Momeni.
Momeni.
Momeni. He is 38 years old, and he reportedly stabbed Bob Lee, the founder of Cash App, in downtown San Francisco. Bob Lee was found stabbed to death, he wasn't dead yet, but he died later at the hospital, but he was found stabbed 3 times, once in the heart with a 4-inch kitchen knife.
Wow.
And it's reported that Nima threw the knife, in
a bush or
and they
shit.
found it, like, all bloody, so, like, they have the weapon.
Oh, my God.
This happened at approximately 2:30 a.m. in the Rincon Hill neighborhood on April 4th this year, 2023, and he did later die at the hospital. They're trying to find a motive. Like, in the beginning, they said there was no motive, and that Bob Lee was just on Bob Lee lived in Florida. And he was in San Francisco.
That's what I was going to say. I thought he died in San Francisco.
Yeah, he lived in Florida, and he was on a business trip in San Francisco. And he has 2 teenage daughters and an ex-wife that lives in, like, near that area. So he would come for business, and he would visit, like, with his children.
Yeah.
Because they resided with the mother at this time. He is known for not only creating the Cash App, but he is also the chief technology officer of the payment company Square.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So he also deals with Cash App and Square.
That Square is like, because I'm like, Cash App, whatever, but Square's huge.
Yeah. No, he's
like,
a big...
we just went to the chiropractor and he was talking about Square.
Yeah. Square.
Like, I use Square. Square's, like, huge for businesses.
Mm-hmm. And then Nima, the accused... He took a plea deal on an unrelated charge in 2011 involving a switchblade, which was a misdemeanor at the time, and then it ended up being dismissed. So
is he just like a hitman?
He is just like, I don't know, he likes knives, I guess.
I'm going to say hitman. This man is a hitman.
He is the accused, Nima, was or is an IT consultant entrepreneur who owns the company Expand It Incorporated, which he started in 2010. And so he's also like in the tech industry. So he was an associate of Bob Lee. They knew each other. I don't know in what capacity other than they were like, they knew each other, they were associates. It's reported that Bob Lee was in town for a business trip. He's probably going to visit like his children at some point in time also, being that he's in the area. And he was a friend of Nima's sister, Kazara. I don't know if I said that correctly. Kazar.
Money.
She is 37 years old. And the motive that they've gotten so far, which I don't know if it's like a true motive, but this is the speculation, is that the sister, well, it is a fact that she was hanging out with Bob and they were drinking.
Oh, shit.
They were drinking together until like midnight that night. Like, you know, like.
Wait, what if it wasn't what if it was a setup?
Well, it could be, but the thing is the brother found out they were hanging out, and he was like, "Oh, you're doing something inappropriate with my sister. Like, what the fuck are you doing?"
Passion.
And reportedly, there was a witness, and the eyewitness, said that Lee and the sister were only drinking together, and there was no like. They didn't visually see, like, any drugs. They didn't see them, like, hooking up or anything because the brother was trying to say that, like, he took advantage of the sister and there was drugs involved and made it, like, this thing. And then, like, that's why, I guess, he stabbed him. Be like, you're taking advantage of my sister. I didn't get any reports on what the sister said. Like, I don't know. It's probably they can't, because it's an ongoing investigation and there's going to be, like, a trial and everything for murder. They can't say too much. But supposedly, like, that's just how he saw it, and that's not really what went down. After Bob Lee's murder, Elon Musk tweeted about the crime, stating that crime in San Francisco is horrific, and even when attackers are caught, they are often immediately released, and that, like, basically the San Francisco needs to do something more.
I don't think that's a San Francisco thing. I think that's an entire fucking California thing.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's just what he tweeted, so it was just kind of like, because he's also obviously, like, tech, you know, SpaceX, Elon Musk, so it was just kind of like giving his little insight of it. But the whole conspiracy with that also is that, you know, because he created the Cash App, and that he's a technological officer for the payment company Square, and now FedNow is rolling out, that they're basically just like bumping off all these big billionaire, like this man is worth billions of dollars, you know, to roll out in preparation of the FedEx.
Which, if you remember...
Or FedNow. Did I say FedEx? I just...
I put in SpaceX and FedNow together.
Yeah. Not FedEx.
Oh my god, FedEx, like, okay.
Yeah, no. I was thinking SpaceX, and then I said Fed and SpaceX. And no. So I'm combining things, but no. So, that... Basically, that's what they're doing, is that they're just going to start bumping off people.
Well, if you remember, a few episodes ago, I was talking about how there was, like, 40 big, huge bank people, like, all, quote-unquote, committed suicide within a 12-month period or 18-month period. Like, maybe that was in preparation for this, to control everything.
Who knows?
Or not even maybe FedNow for our government, but maybe because a lot of those suicide, quote unquote suicide, murder, whatever, happened in other countries. So maybe it's for their own like FedNow app, even though it's not FedNow, maybe it's UK now, or you know.
Well, the thing is like this is just the
Russian
first
currency. Whatever.
Yeah, this is just the first phase, and this phase is rolling out in July, and then like they're gonna have more phases. So right now it's just the United States, but who knows if it's gonna expand.
Well, I don't think our federal can expand. I think that they're copying China or India, like you said, that they're
I mean
cash.
International payments. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
To expand to international.
Yeah, like what if you're gonna buy something overseas? Can you do FedNow?
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean by expand.
Everything just clicked.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the brain neuron? Yeah. Did you see the light bulb?
I mean,
it all just went right out.
You can order stuff online, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if you order something from another country, and can you use that as an option if your bank, you know what I mean?
don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
These are the questions we need answered.
And then we also need to pay attention to how many other of these big tech companies, CEOs, founders are going to end up missing or dead or
PayPal
whatever.
Founder.
Yeah. So we need to start paying attention
PayPal,
to that.
isn't that from Facebook, which would be Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg did PayPal, right?
I'm not sure who did PayPal. I did not
I
look
feel like
into that,
it's somebody like that. If it's not Zuckerberg, it's like it's like an Elon Musk. It's not Elon Musk, but
probably Bill Gates. No.
Right? No, for real. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but
so yeah, that's what I have on the FedNow for right now, because
which is so like the book 1984.
Yeah.
It's all combining. It's all like mirroring each other.
And then as like it rolls out and like people start using it, like obviously there's going to be more to this, because this is the first phase. It's going to start in July. So how is it going to go? I don't know. We'll see.
So do you? I was going to ask you earlier. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
No.
It has Luke Wilson. It came out in like 2001, 2, 3, like early 2000s.
I don't believe so.
Okay, we should definitely, so I've only seen it once, and I swear to God my IQ dropped. Because it was so fucking like, what the fuck? And it was about like this dude that was in the military, and they were doing time travel, and he time traveled to 2050.
Oh wow!
And it was like almost mirroring this shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's creepy.
I think that we should do like a movie review or something as like a bonus ode, just for fun, and do it, and then compare it now, because it has been almost 30 years since that movie came out. And I only watched it once. I remember every single scene, and it like literally made me like, I went into 7-Eleven right after that, and I was fumbling over myself, and I thought that I was a fucking idiot, and it's only like a 90-minute movie. It's not this long saga, you know? So, I don't know. We should definitely do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
All right, anyways,
yeah, why not?
So, that's our FedNow episode, right?
Yeah, that's all that I have now, because it hasn't rolled out yet, and this is just like the basic information of what it is.
We'll do updates then in probably August, once it's been out for a month. We'll do an update about it. Yeah, let us know what you think. Do you want the government to know every single spending thing, like everything? Every single transaction, every transaction that you make, every transaction that you do, every move you make.
And so if you
let us know
if you can only use digital currency, what happens to the cash you have on hand? You got to deposit it in the bank, and then what?
The bank is probably already starting to like take it and give it back to the Federal Reserve to destroy. Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens with this.
Oh my God, I hate that, because I've done that too, where it's like we know that we're on a sinking ship, and I just want to find out what happened. All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Follow us
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Find us on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all of your favorite places where you listen to your podcast. Where you're listening to us now.
Yes. And following. Don't forget to follow.
Always follow, because then you're going to get notifications on when we post a new episode. So follow.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.